So here's the Raspberry Pi, the B model. You'll see that I have a IDE cable coming out of the GPIPO, the general purpose input output pins, which actually have a couple of cables coming up to here, where the leads, the red is the positive where the electricity is coming from, which is controlled by the little Raspberry Pi deal. And we put it on the breadboard to go to the specific rail all the way across is where the, actually up to the middle part, is where the connectors go to. So then you'll see like my little capacitor, which essentially just throttles down the electricity so we don't blow the LED light. It'll come on over to this next rail and input, and then you'll see on the very far side on that same connector deal is where that LED hooks up to, and then it comes up to the LED down to the very top row and back up, and this is where your negative electricity comes from on the black, and then it goes back into the negative, which plugs up to another pin to ground everything out. And that's one of the two projects I'm going to show you real quick. So coming over to the screen, I've already written the code for it. Now it took a little while because I'm not the best developer ever, but Google sure does help. And my application was actually written in Python, which is a .py file. So we're going to launch that sudo python Rhasp Pi, and it programmed, or I have programmed to ask me what would I like to send. So we're going to type something like, I like Cookie Monster, and hit enter. When we hit enter, it's going to traverse all of that text to a database file, or not even a database file, it's like a little list within the text itself, and launch a code to take every letter that we're going to type in there and output it via that LED to the corresponding Morse text or Morse code with a dit or a dash and the number of dashes it goes to. Then it'll pause for a brief second and then it'll hit the next letter. So if I hit enter now for my application, it's going to do the code, and we see that it's going to start telling us that whole line in Morse code. So you see the little small flashes are the dits, and the long flashes are the dashes, and you'll see like a brief slight pause in between. So once I finally figured it out and how to make that work, it was kind of cool. Now I don't know Morse code. I know some basic stuff, but not too much. We'll let this finish out here because everybody knows the whole SOS, the dash 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 dit. We will try that out here in just a second. So while it's testing all that, it's gonna pause and then it's gonna prompt. Okay, so that's finished up. The light's no longer moving. So let's go to something that everybody knows, SOS, and we're gonna hit the enter key, or dash dash. So that's kind of cool. So it kind of correlates the whole thing. We'll do the SOS one more time. So dit dash 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 dit. It could probably be sped up. I think I just did it on a quarter of a second versus a half of a second time. So that's one of the cool things. Now that actually did take me a little while just to kind of figure out how to program it and make sure everything was connected properly. The number two thing, the Bitcoin ASIC that we were talking about yesterday. So we plugged that up to the secondary USB. That very top one is actually just a Bluetooth wireless adapter, so I can get my keyboard and little touchpad to work without having to consume all of my USB ports. Every little once in a while, you'll see a quick green flash. Yep, you can kind of barely see it tick off a little bit. Right on the top left, on this little guy right here. Okay, there he goes. Alright, so what we're doing here in the background is actually doing the Bitcoin mining. I'm going to send you a different link just to kind of give you a little bit of detail of what that's all about. It's just, again, for fun. But you'll see it's already processing some hashes at what particular speed, and it's kind of keeping up with it to go through the whole Bitcoin thing. And that's about it. I'll send you the video. See ya.